Hello everyone and welcome to this week's update. We're going to cover off my dividend income this week along with my premium bonds and also my Trading212 portfolio. So looking at the market this week, this month is known to be a bad month overall in the market. You can see here the average return is minus 1.17 between January 1928 and December 2023 for the S&P 500. So this week is off to a bad start in line with this. So looking at the market, so the two ETFs that I follow and sort of use as a benchmark for my Trading212 portfolio pies is the Vanguard FTSE 100. So the current price of it is £48.22. It has a compound annual growth rate of minus 4.26. That's based on a start date of the 28th of August, where the starting price was £48.27, so it's down slightly, which is a 0.1 minus 0.1 AAR. Looking on to the Vanguard S&P 500, its current value is £91.61. Again, a drop of minus 9.02 compound annual growth rate, and again that's based on a start date of the 20th of August and the start price or start value of £91.80, which is a 0.21 AAR loss. So looking on the premium bombs this month, nothing was added, nothing was withdrawn, so current value is still around or at £100. I've had no winnings this month because I've only started investing in it, so I'm not eligible for any competitions. The next results will be on the 2nd of October, so hopefully we'll get something in. So on to my dividends for this week. I got a total dividend income of 67 pence. Not great, obviously, because it's a small portfolio I have, so I'm not going to expect big returns. But you can see the two big ones there was Torm at 21 pence and United Parcel Service UPS at 16 pence. So they were good returns. So buys and sells this week. I had nothing this week, so everything's simple there. So looking at my pie overview, we'll get to the pies here now in a few minutes. I'll show them to you in Trading212. So this is the overall few of it since I opened up the pies on the 28th of August. So basically, the low dividend, low growth pie is currently at minus 8%, just under minus 9% annual compound growth rate, which is 0.2 AAR. The low dividend high growth is minus 50, which seems like a massive number, but you have to remember that it's an average return over a period of time, so that will change drastically as the duration of the pies goes on, but overall is minus 1.2 or 1.52 AAR. The high dividend low growth pie, it's currently minus 26 annual compound growth rate, which is not minus 0.66 AAR, and the high dividend high growth pie is down minus 25% annual compound growth rate and minus 0.63. It's quite scary looking at those numbers for the annual compound growth rate, but you have to remember how it's calculated based off the AAR calculation, so they do look scary, but over time they will improve. So overall, the pies themselves, the average compound annual growth rate is minus 27, the AAR is minus 0.67. You can see my targets based on the predictions I've made in different calculations. This is over a 2-year period I'm looking, up until August 2027. I'll be looking for around a 20% annual compound growth rate, and my AAR is looking to be around 43%. So let's jump into Trading212 now and have a look at the pies themselves and see how they have performed over the past week. So before we get into the pies, one quick word of advice. Please hit the subscribe button to help my channel grow. Thank you. Okay, looking here now at my Trading212 portfolio, you can see the current value is £3,122. My current net deposits are 3,123. Over the past week, I've lost £5 and 15 pence, and my rate of return is minus 0.1. You can see obviously there was quite a few drops off there at the beginning of the week. Tuesday we dropped off down as low as 0.6, minus 0.6, and then we did spike up right to the very heights there on Friday. We're basically up 0.3, so we do have a pie that can make quite big extreme jumps. Now I have seen that compared to the S&P 500, the S&P 500 seems to move a lot quicker, a lot more extreme. I was monitoring the S&P 500 whilst or throughout the week while I was also monitoring my pie here, and you could see that the S&P was a predictor for the way the pie was going to go. So the S&P did drop off first of all, and I then shortly about an hour or two after, the pie started to drop off then. Now my pies didn't actually drop off as much as the S&P 500, but it was interesting just to see that the movement of the S&P 500 was a predictor for how the pie was going to go. So looking at the individual pies then, the high dividend, high growth pie over this past week made a 85 pence 0.1 return, quite jumpy. So it was dropped off quite a bit in the middle of the week and bounced back up again. Looking at the two high div low growth pies, this one here lost 0.17, minus 0.5 return, and the second pie actually made a profit 29 pence of a 0.1 return. It's going on down the low div high growth. There's two pies for it. First one lost £8 16 pence, and minus 1.1 return. This pie, it only has two holdings in it, made a profit 46 pence profit, 2.9 return. And then down to the low dividend, low growth pies. So this one made a profit of £1.74, 0.2% return. And this pie made a surplus of 72 pence and 0.6. So looking at the holdings themselves, you can see here if we sort by the gain and loss, Best Buy, United Health, Domino's Pizza, they're all well up there. So there you can see Alphabet themselves made 11.47 overall in my holdings. So that was they're doing quite well for me, up 19% this week. So yeah, they're not doing too bad. Seagate Technologies, they're also doing quite well, up 12% this week. And my investment's up 10%. If you scroll down to the bottom, see what's not doing as well. So right down here, you can see there's a few there. There's a couple there, 7%. Wingstop, Douglas, Academy Sports and Outdoors. They're not doing too great. They're minus 7%, nearly minus 8%. So yeah, it's good just to keep an eye on these just to see how they're doing. There's one there, Steph, actually minus 12. So they're not doing too great. They're down 11% this week and down nearly 13% in the actual portfolio itself. So if you scroll up to the very top, you can see just the uncosted basis. So current total investments is £3,136. Current investment value is 3,121. So an unrealized result of minus £15, which is 0.48. So yep, there we go. That's the different investments I have. So hope this has been useful. Please click the like button and hit the subscribe as well, please. It'll be great just to help out my channel. Thanks very much.